Okay, welcome. So this is the introduction video for the modern architecture unit. We're going to be looking at modern materials, forms, and structures. Okay, so let's try and give you a sense of what is going to be involved in all of this. Looking at modern architecture, the first slideshow I'm calling this one modern categories for the reason that I'm going to show you a lot of modern forms, but I think the main task is not just going to be to observe them closely, although you will need to observe them closely. The main task is going to be to put them into categories. So there'll be 17 images of modern structures, and basically all these modern structures are made possible by newer materials. I'm going to want you to try to put these images into 7 different categories. That's what I had. You might be able to come up with more, possibly less, but I will want you to know all of these 7 categories eventually. So you think about that as your goal. Now, the thing that makes this tricky is it's not like each one of these things goes into only one category. Each image can go into more than one category, and some of them do. Some of them will go into as many as 4, I think. So it's a little bit tricky to try and get this, but think about that as sort of the challenge. You're trying to come up with 7 essential new things. Now, I think that I would say one of these things is something you've seen before. So one of those categories is definitely something you've seen before. 3 of them are I would say twists on old forms that are made possible with newer materials. And then I think 2 of them are shall we say modern, one of them is a modern material that's basically made possible by combining different materials. One of them is a form of this new material that is unique, that has not been seen before. And then one of them is a completely new structure that is made possible with these new materials. So those are some hints that you can have going into it. The second set of observations will be on skyscrapers. And basically what this is going to be is it will be a trip through the world's tallest structure, starting with the Great Pyramid of Giza, which is, around 2600 BCE. So, and that was the world's tallest structure for quite some time. But going to go through the ages and look at the changing materials. Like when you go from Giza to later structures, how did the materials change? And then look at how the function changes. And as the function changes, look at how the prevalence changes as well. How many more of these kinds of structures we get as they become more functional. So it'll be something to look at. The last thing we'll look at is dams. This will be another exercise in categorization. So you'll look at a bunch of modern dams from different angles. And you'll be putting all of these dams into 2 main categories. Now, the advantage here is that most of the dams fall into one or the other. So you'll try to put them into these 2 categories and try to think about what you think the advantages and disadvantages of these categories were, along with, of course, the essential features of the category. There are 2 different sort of hybrid type dams that kind of straddle the categories. I don't know that I would put these ones into either category altogether, but they have features of both types. So I want you to look at these hybrid dams and decide which one you think are the hybrids, and then what do you think the advantages and disadvantages of these hybrid forms of the dams are. So that will be it for this unit, and next week we'll have one more slideshow on bridges, then the assessment, and then one sort of longer discussion about metal and the use of metal throughout the ages. So thank you for checking this out, and I will see you in the next lecture.